This is the Kentucky Fathers Podcast. Listen up, guys. This is very important. I'm saying this to divorced fathers. I'm saying this to separated fathers. I'm saying this to fathers who are still with their the mother of their children. Okay? Married, live-in, whatever the case might be. This is what I'm saying to you. Listen very carefully. If you're going through a divorce, you have children, you should immediately fight like a mad dog to get you and your children into family counseling. That should be priority number one. Well, actually, priority number one should be getting you a good family attorney. You can go to Access Justice. You can email me if you need their contact information. Get you a good family attorney and tell your family attorney one of your top priorities is to get family counseling with you and your children. Period. Don't wait, don't hesitate. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you, as I'm telling you why, as I'm telling you what to do, I'm going to also tell you the why. Well, here's the why. Your children, I don't care how old they are, their world has just been blown apart. They are devastated. Doesn't matter if they say it or don't say it. Doesn't matter if they act out or don't act out. Their world is devastated. I don't care if you had a good marriage or not. That doesn't matter. What matters is that mom and daddy are no longer together. What matters is that they're seeing that mom and daddy don't love one another anymore. What they're seeing is, hey, wait a minute. Can this happen to me? If mom and daddy said that they love one another and they're together and they're building a family, they're building a marriage, and all of a sudden they no longer love one another, oh my God. What about me? Does mom and daddy no longer love me? Hey, did I do something to make this happen? See, they're coming from their perspective, their world. You are going into family counseling not to complain about, why the mama was no good, and why she was a lousy wife, and why she was a hoe, and how she burnt your dinner. None of that. Don't say nothing negative about the mother. Nothing. You go in there in the family counseling, you should be saying, hey, you know what? Your mother and I don't get along, but that doesn't mean your mother and I don't love you guys unconditionally, and it also does not mean your mother and I are deserting you. We are going to work together to do what's best for you. So if you disrespect your mama, hey, you disrespected me, and you're going to suffer the consequences of that. Now, is the mother of your children going to have that same attitude? I don't know. You should assume that she doesn't. But that doesn't mean you don't have that attitude. Well, I'll show you respect if you show me respect. No. You make it clear to those children, hey, your mom and daddy, we don't get along. That's one thing. And really, why we don't get along, this is what you need to say to your children. It's really none of your business. It's really none of your business. If your mama wants to say some stuff, that's fine. But here's what I'm saying. That's still your mother. You better respect her. You don't respect her. You disrespect her. You disobey her. Oh, dude, I'm coming down on you. I better not receive that phone call from your mama saying that you disrespected her. I better not. I better not receive that phone call saying, you disobeyed your mama. I better not hear that. When I get that phone call, because I'm coming down there, and I'm going to handle it. I don't want to hear nothing about you acting up in school. I get that phone call from school, I'm there. But before I go to that school to handle that situation, I'm calling your mama. Hey, such and such, our son, our daughter's acting up in school. Are you going to meet me there? Or do you want me to handle it? Or do you want to handle it? Whatever way you want to handle it, I got your back. And then you hang up the phone. Because the only thing you're doing is you're talking about to the mama about business. But hey, let me say this. You go into family counseling, don't be a bad mouthing that mother. You let them know. Hey, it's still mama and daddy, and we're still a tag team. 2, don't say nothing about, why you guys are divorcing. It's none of their business. That's adult business. That's mama and daddy business. Now, if she wants to say something, that's her business. But you let them know, look, this is not the time for us to discuss it. But this is the time. Here's point number 3. You say to the children, I don't care how old they are, you have them in counseling, you ask them, hey, how are you guys feeling? How are you guys seeing this? And listen to them. Don't argue. Listen to them. Let them share their feelings. Let them bring it out. Listen. Don't say nothing. And then when it's all said and done at the end, you guys just say to them, look, I'm sorry it didn't work out between your mother and I. I thought we did our best. It didn't work out. I don't know whose fault it is. But here's the bottom line. Your mom and I love you guys unconditionally. Your mom and I are going to co-parent. We're going to work together in raising you guys to the best of our ability. And if you disobey your mom and you disrespect your mom, you're disobeying me, you're disrespecting me, and I'm going to handle it. That's why I'm going to handle it. And that's just the way it is from this point forward. And I always want you guys, it's what you need to be saying to your children. I always want you guys to share your feelings, how you're feeling about stuff, how you're seeing stuff. Come talk to me. I have no problem with it. And I just want you to know, bottom line is this. Your mama loves you unconditionally. I love you unconditionally. And we got to move forward. We got to move forward. And this counseling session is all about you guys. Share your feelings, share your thoughts. But I'm telling you guys, go into family counseling. If you have, and I would even try to get court-ordered family counseling. And if you guys have that family counseling and you have it on a regular basis, it is any alienating parent, they're going to be less successful. Again, you don't go in there trying to score points against the ex. You don't go in there trying to show that, I'm the superior parent. You go in there with one objective only, to let your children know certain things, certain principles, and to let your children know, hey, you have every right to share your feelings and thoughts of what's going on, and it's my responsibility as your father, as your daddy, to listen to you, and to understand you. Okay, guys, do family counseling. Do family counseling. Now, let me share with you some personal stuff. I did it, and it was the best. I did family counseling. It's the best thing I ever did. It didn't prevent my wife from successfully alienating me from my daughter. It eventually, in the initial years, it did prevent her from doing it, because she did try to do it. She did try to engage in alienation, and so family counseling helped prevent that. When I say family counseling, between my daughter and I, and it helped a lot, and I learned a lot. And one thing I learned is to shut up and listen to my child. One thing I learned is to shut up and listen to my child. The other thing I learned is it's not about me. When you're a father, it's about your children. It's about listening to them, hearing them. It's not for you. It's not about you going into a counseling session and saying, the wife did this, the wife did that, she didn't do this. No, dude, no. It's about your children. Okay? It's about your children. And that's what it needs to stay focused on. And it was very helpful to me. So I have that, right now my daughter hasn't spoken to me in several years, although I've seen her, but she's never really said anything to me. But I've seen her, like graduations, and she's never responded to anything I've sent to her. Even when I told her I had cancer, and I was pretty scared and concerned about it, she said nothing to me. Now, her sister sent me a beautiful card, but my daughter said nothing, and my ex-wife didn't have the decency to say, "Hey, you're an idiot, but I hope you recover from cancer." It was something, And but still, what's my point in bringing that up? That family counseling did help. It helped a lot. And I knew it was having a positive impact on my relationship with my daughter, because my ex-wife deliberately lied about her obligation to return my daughter to court-ordered family counseling. She lied about it. I knew she lied because the family counselor said, Mr. Sievers, I was going on, it was a maternity leave or something, and I told her when we come back we need to reschedule, we need to pick up the counseling sessions. And it didn't happen. And so I contacted the counselor, said, what's going on? They said, well, I told your wife to bring her back. She didn't do it. So in court, my wife said, oh, I didn't know that I had to do that. Well, that's not what the counselor said. The counselor told me twice. No, I told her very clearly, she needs to call me back. We need to pick up the sessions. And so my wife lied in court. Well, actually, her attorney lied in court, which doesn't surprise me. He's a lying piece of garbage anyway. And he's just as bad as some social worker named Gretchen. That heifer's a filthy, low-life scumbag liar, too. But anyway, I digress. The point is, I knew family counseling was effective. Of course, that counselor was not going to say, oh, he shouldn't have a relationship with his daughter, he's abusive, blah, blah, blah. No, she just said, hey, you guys need to, keep in communication. Y'all need to keep talking, talk things through. It's good. It's good for her, and it's good for you, and it's good for your relationship. And I was eager to do it. I enjoyed the family counseling sessions I have with my daughter at Southeast Christian Church in 7 counties. I enjoyed it. And my daughter never resisted it. She never resisted it. And she told me some things I didn't know. She was sharing her feelings. Guys, do it. Do it. It's very important. I know sometimes as men, we don't feel comfortable with that. I ain't crazy. Dude, it's not about you being crazy. It's about your child, man. I don't care how old they are. Their world is just falling apart. And you need to be focused on what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what's going on in their head. So, get family counseling. Never give up, joint custody. Fight for that. Because my ex-wife, I didn't have an attorney. And that was a major mistake on my part. I had one. Then I thought things were going on fine between me and my ex-wife. And I said, well, I don't need an attorney anymore. So I sort of fired the guy. And then it was like, that's when she went bananas. She really just went bananas. And one of the first things she had her scumbag attorney do was to take away joint custody from me. And I didn't know what was going on. I went to an attorney and said, dude, what happened? He said, man, he did what attorneys do. Did you have an attorney? I said, no, I didn't think I needed one anymore. He said, man, that was a serious mistake. Guys, let me tell you something. Don't go into family court without an attorney. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's like swimming out in the ocean and you're bleeding and there's a bunch of sharks around. They will kill you. They will go after you. They will do it. They'll be unethical about it. They don't care. And that judge don't care. I don't care if that judge is black, white, male, or female. I don't care. They don't give a flip about you. They're getting a paycheck regardless of what happens between you and your child. They're not going to suffer the consequences of parental alienation. They don't care. They're not going to be held accountable for that. They're not going to show up at your daughter's graduation. They're not going to be, they're not going to be the ones trying to scrounge together some money so that your daughter can have, important daughter or son or daughter can have important surgery. They don't care if your son or daughter is learning about your side of the family and your religious or cultural values. They don't care. They get a check regardless. And that attorney will get a check regardless. He's going to get his pay. They don't care. You're daddy forever, dude. Okay? You're daddy 10,000 years from now. You're still daddy. They don't give a flip about you. We should abolish family court, but that's another issue. Guys, you got to go into family. Don't go into family court without an attorney. And you make sure that your attorney understands family counseling is priority number one of your major priorities. So I'm telling you, man, your child, son, daughter, I don't care how old they are, I don't care how young they are, they're going through some serious stuff right now in their head. And they need to be placed in an environment, in a structured environment, mediated by a professional, where they can share their feelings with you about what's going on. And you need to be focused on their feelings and their thoughts. I don't give a flip. Don't you dare go on there and talk bad about that child's mother. It's not about you. It's about them. And your attitude should be towards that ex-wife. I don't care if she's a hoe. I don't care if she's like a Cardi B. I don't care. I don't care if she's abusive towards you. I don't care if she kicked your butt every day and twice on Sunday. I really don't. That is that child's mother. And you need to co-parent. You need to learn how to get along enough to where, you guys are, co-parenting. And you don't need to be bad-mouthing that woman in front of your children. Ever. I don't care if she just burned down your house. Your kids bring it up. Daddy, did Mama burn down the house? He said, you know what? I didn't like that house anyway. And let me tell you this, none of your business. Now, your mom is telling me your grades aren't doing too well. Yeah, I expect you to get them grades up. Seriously, that kind of response. You know what? Didn't like, hey, Daddy, did Mama run you over with the car? Well, you know what? Actually, it helped me with my arthritis. And then, two, it's really none of your business. But I understand you're 18, 19 years old. You still at home. You ain't working. Oh, no. That's unacceptable, dude. I'm going to be talking to your mom. We got to come up with a game plan, better game plan than that. Do you understand my point? Do you understand where I'm going with that? Guys, that's the way we need to be. That's the way we always need to be. We're fathers, man. We're fathers. We're fathers, man. Our children need us. I don't give a flip what them white, liberal, leftist women in social work, CPS, wherever, what they got to say. They don't give a flip about you. They don't give a flip about you. Them damn family court judges, they don't give a flip about you. I don't care if they are black. I remember one time they talk about having this picture of all these black judges. Man, who cares? They ain't doing nothing for fathers. You going to family court is anti-father. Period. Who ever have heard of a situation where a father has to spend money and lose money in order to parent his child? My ex-wife remarried. God bless her. She remarried. Dude's a hard-working dude. He was a truck driver, had a nice house, nice neighborhood. Hey, I salute that brother. And not one time did he ever have to fight in court to see my daughter. I had to go to court and fight, spend time and money to see my daughter, my baby. That in itself should tell you family court's messed up and needs to be abolished. But hey, that's what it means to be a father, man. It needs to be a father. Buck up. Man up. That's just the way it is. It's a blessing, it's an honor and a privilege for us to be fathers. And we just got to go in there and fight. Whatever way we can fight, whatever arena, we need to choose every arena we can to fight. Fight to be with our children, fight for our children, fight to invest in our children, to love our children, to guide them. That's what it means to be a father, guys. I'm sorry. And you're not always going to get people applauding you, patting you on your back, saying, hey, man, we appreciate you, good job. Don't expect that. You just go do what you got to do. Now, I'm going to tell you, amongst the, I guess you might say, the fatherhood community, yeah, we're going to pat you on your back. You better believe it. And sometimes we're going to give you a shoulder to cry on. And sometimes we're going to ask you, hey, can I use your shoulder to cry on? We need to come together like that. But guys, I just wanted to put that out there. And I also want to put out there that I'm looking for nominations. Who do you think we're going to have in June? We're going to have like a Father's Day banquet of sorts, and we're going to recognize, some top fathers. And so if you got a nomination, please submit it to me. You can do it at my Facebook page, Kentucky Fathers, and I'll give you the details where we're going to have our gathering of fathers to recognize one another and to encourage one another and to uplift and motivate one another and to give thanks to God for giving us the privilege and the blessing to be fathers.